Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through how to do the standard deviation on a scientific calculator instead of the graphing calculator. All right, so example 20 from page 150 has this calculating standard deviation for this sample of numbers here. Okay, so what you want to do, get your graphing calculator, scientific calculator, and we're going to enter this data, okay? And we're going to actually enter this data into, we're going to push the data button, okay? And that's where it's going to allow us to enter stuff into a table, just like our graphing calculator would. All right, so to enter the data in, just push 2 and then the number, and then just keep doing that for all the rest of the data, okay? So enter all that in. Okay, so we have all that, and now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to figure out the statistics on that data. So we're going to do second and then data, and if you see up above that, it says stat. Okay, so this is one variable statistics, so we're going to click onto the one variable statistics, hit enter, and then it's going to ask us, where's your data? Is it in list 1, list 2, or list 3? We put ours in list 1. And then, so we'll push enter. And the next thing is going to ask, what's the frequency of that data? Now, all of the frequencies, there's just one of each of those. Well, I mean, there's 2 5s, but the way we entered it in, it's just all the frequencies for each of those is going to be 1. So push enter again, and then hit calculate. And then it's going to start listing off some stuff. Okay, so this says up here, one variable, list 1, where the frequency was 1 for each one. N equals 7. That's the number of pieces of data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. X with the bar over the top, that's our mean. So the mean of the data is 5. SX you don't need to worry about too much, but this here, the little O with the cape on it, 0 with the cape, we call it super O. I'm sure it's got a real name, but that's what we've been calling it. OX is 1.51, and that is the standard deviation right there. Okay, so we found that. And then just as another note here, down below, it's actually going to give you the 5-number summary as well. So it gives us the minimum, the quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and the maximum. All right? So let's just enter our standard deviation here, 1.51 is 1.51 for our answer there. All right, so that's how you do that on the graphing calculator. We'll try another one just to make sure that we're good, because there's different types of stuff to put in there. So this is our data with the frequency table. So similar idea here. And then here's what we want to do. We want to get rid of all this data. You can go through and delete it one by one, or if you just push the data button again, or if you push it twice, it'll be able to clear list 1. So we want to clear list 1, and now it's all gone. So now we're going to want to put the 11 through 19 in list 1, and then we'll want to put the frequency in list 2, and then we're going to recalculate it. Okay, so let's put all that data in there. Okay, and once you get all your score put in the list 1, then we're going to go over now to list 2 and enter in all the frequencies. Okay, and when you're done entering all that in, you should notice that your 19 and the 6, the last 2 pieces here, should line up next to each other. Then you're feeling pretty confident that you got all your data in there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to calculate it. And we're going to do it the same way, second and then data. Okay, and then it's still actually one variable statistics, even though we have 2 different columns. There's still just one variable, and that's the score. And then this frequency is just how often that score happens. So it's still one variable statistics. We push enter. And then the data, again, the scores are still in list 1. Okay, and now here's where you want to change something. The frequency here is what we put into list 2. So we want to go over here and highlight list 2, push enter, and then so now it's our data is list 1, and then our frequency is list 2, and now we want to calculate. Okay, and then the same stuff comes up. All right, so N is 50, so that means the total frequency. Look down here. Again, feeling pretty good that we put our data in there right, because that says 50 as well. The mean on this is 15.62. And then again, go down to the fourth line down there, and our standard deviation is 2.38 using this scientific calculator, which is much nicer and much faster than doing it by hand. All right. So, and again, this also will give you all sorts of stuff. Look, it'll still even give you the 5-number summary for your box and whisker plots and other stuff like that. All right. So let's see. There's our standard deviation. Let's get that put in there. So our standard deviation is 2.38. All right. All right. One more to try, and that is our distribution scores when we have a range of values instead of just an actual value in itself. All right. So same idea. Gonna use our graphing calculator, and again to clear all that data out. Let's say if we were back here at the original screen, just push data, and you'll have this here. Push data again, and you should be able to get to the clear. So we want to clear list 1, and we also want to clear list 2, so we can have all of our spots to put our new data in. All right. So thing that's a little bit different about this here is now again we're between 0 and 9. So what we want to do is we want to find the middle of that range there. So the middle of 0 and 9, at 0 plus 9 is 9. Divide that by 2. Here I guess we can actually show it, huh? So we do 0 plus 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. 10 plus 19 divided by 2, that's 29 divided by 2 is 14.5, right? And again, let's see, well, let's just do one more. 20 plus 29 divided by 2, that's 49 divided by 2, which is 24.5. And hopefully you can start noticing, oh look, 4.5, 14.5, 24.5. So these other ones here are going to be 34.5, 44.5, so forth and so on, all the way up to the top. All right. So again, we're going to want to enter in our data. So the mark is going to be in list 1. So that's going to be our 4.5 and our 14.5 all the way up to 94.5. Okay, once you finish that, then you're going to go over to list 2, and then we're going to enter in all our frequencies. All right. Once you get those all in, then we're just going to go right back in like we've been doing before. We'll push data. No, we don't want that. Sorry, it's second data. And then again, we still are just in one variable stats. So it's just one variable statistics. The data is still in list 1. And then our frequency, again, it was over in list 2. So we got to go over to list 2 and push enter. Apparently the calculator will default back to always having the frequency as 1, so you got to make sure you check that each time you have a frequency table like this. Okay, and then calculate, push enter, and it'll give us all our data. So all these frequencies here should add up to 80. And again, we go down here to find out what our standard deviation, and it's 16.81 if we round it to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so standard deviation is 16. What did we say it was? 16.81. All right. Okay, that's how you do all these on the graphing calculator. Be sure to ask if you need help. All right, thanks.